Hey everybody, welcome back. It's been some time since my last video, a year, or just about a year, so since the last vinyl tag. So we're going to jump back into it, try not to make it a long video, but a fun one. So this was suggested by a channel called A Little Beatles Corner, so check out their channel, and then I first saw this one from me, Mr. Mayo's channel, so check out his channel as well. So we have this list of questions here for the tag from A Little Beatles Corner. So we're going to jump into it. So favorite holiday song by a Beatle. We have Wonderful Christmas Time, Happy Xmas, Ding Dong Ding Dong, the Christmas album by Ringo. But we're going with Winter Wonderland from Ringo's Christmas album. It's always a go-to on my Christmas playlist every year. Alright, moving on. Favorite Beatles album cover. So starting out controversially, this is my favorite Beatles album cover, which is Rock and Roll Music. A lot of people don't like this album cover. I know the Beatles famously didn't like this album cover, but I love it. I would love to have a shirt with that design on it. Maybe it's nostalgia from being one of the first, if not the first, Beatles album cover that I saw or album that I held. I don't know, but I love it all the same. Okay, so favorite colored or picture disc, colored disc or picture disc. So with that one, we're gonna go with the reissue of the Blue album from '73, if I remember correctly. That is Blue album. I just love that color blue on the label and the silver, and then that nice translucent blue in the background. On the disc, what am I talking about? Love it. Not a big guy on colored vinyl or even picture discs anymore. So this is one of the few of any of those that I have left after my great vinyl purge of 2022, 2023, and 2024. Okay, so favorite 45 picture sleeve. That is going with Real Love. Love that shot of them. That mid-60 shot was at 65 or 66. Can't remember. I think 66. This was kind of going back with Rock and Roll Music. This was the first, probably the first Beatles song I heard was Real Love. I had the single whenever that came out, so it tells you how long ago that was. So yeah, I had this on cassette single, and that's what I remember the album or the single cover being like. But love it, love that shot. Okay, so favorite song of the last three Beatles songs and rank them. Well, going right along with it there, we have Real Love being my favorite. Let's move that up a little bit there. So Real Love being my favorite. Not only my favorite of the last three, but it's up there, probably tied with In My Life as my favorite Beatles song. It's one of the first ones I ever heard. It was the song that everybody walked to in my wedding. Love it. And number two, I'd have to go with Now and Then Free as a Bird. So unlike another part of this list, I don't dislike any of those three, but if I had to rank them, that's what I'm ranking them. All right, tablet's being difficult. Okay, so most unusual Beatles vinyl. Since the great vinyl purge, I have gotten rid of most of my bootlegs, anything that wasn't readily available, anything I completely did not need to have or couldn't get somewhere else or already had on something. So all the fun, more unusual Beatles bootlegs I have or foreign releases are all gone, but this one is going to have to take the title. So the original greatest hits. As you see, no mention of the Beatles anywhere on it, but it is the Beatles. It is the very first counterfeit or pirate copy of Please Please Me. So probably did get confused quite a bit as one of those cash-in albums, but it is legit. It is real. So that is probably the most unusual one I have anymore. Okay. So, Beatles single with a better B-side. We are going with probably a controversial one again. We're talking about Please Please Me, but with the better B-side being From Me to You. Love both songs. Don't love them equally. Please Please Me is great, but From Me to You it just screams Beatlemania more than Please Please Me does, at least to me. Okay, favorite song covered by another artist. That took a little digging, a little comparing, but it all came back to John Denver doing Mother Nature's Son. Love the original version, one of my favorite Beatles songs, but John Denver just does it, I would say, arguably better. Controversial again, but I'd say he does it better. He makes it more his own, almost as if he would have written it. Fits perfectly on the album, too. And he always does Beatles songs justice, but that one is just fantastic. Okay, favorite Beatles cover. We're going to bring up the original greatest hits because that's what I have handy here. We're going to Twist and Shout. I'm not one to say that every cover that the Beatles have done is amazing or better than the original, or in that case, good. But Twist and Shout, top of the bill for me. Okay. Worst three Beatles songs. The worst three songs Beatles wrote. So I don't think that this was necessarily saying songs that they recorded, but we're going with songs that they wrote. And it just so happens that these three, I'm not one to say that every single song the Beatles have done is fantastic or great, or okay, I'm putting them at the bottom of the list, still like it. No, this is three songs that the worst ones that they wrote, three songs that I skip every time that I hate. That's You Can't Do That, When I Get Home, and She's a Woman. I can't, I hate the music to it. I think that they're not sung very well. It just kind of, it just doesn't meld well with the music, which isn't good in the first place. Do not care at all for those three songs. I skip them every time I come on. Okay, last Beatles product that you bought. That is going with this 45 of Love Me Do that I bought just for the sleeve with this VJ Christmas sleeve. Been looking for one. Haven't had the chance to find a really good copy for a good price. This one happened to come up when I had a little disposable income for it. So that's what I picked up. Now, at the same time that I bought that, I'm going to show this other piece here. You know what? I'm not going to. Save that for a different video. But anyway, we're going to go with that VJ sleeve. I've been on a big VJ kick of finding stuff with them. With VJ, I used to have almost every single variation of the VJ Introduced the Beatles label, which took up most of my collection, and I sold off most of it. Kept just the real hardy stuff. So and a real stereo copy, the first printing with Love Me Do on it, printing with Please Please Me on it, with the Goff and King misprints. So I just kept those. Okay, so an ongoing part of the Beatles collection. So I already mentioned that I got rid of most of my records except for Beatles. And I have already a first press mono and stereo of all the US albums, including Yesterday and Today with the Butcher. So my next step is to get, with the exception more than likely of Yesterday and Today, first press mono and stereo in the shrink, which I've only got 5 or 6 that I still need to pick up in the shrink, first press mono and stereo. Maybe with a few that I'd like to upgrade. So we're almost there so far to complete that part of the collection. Then I'll have to come up with something else. Okay, prized Beatles possession. That is going to be my copy of Abbey Road signed by Paul and Ringo. I don't pull this one off the wall very often, and I don't know if I've shown it in a video yet, but I've had it for several years now. Okay, favorite 2024 Beatles product. I would have to say the mono albums, the US mono remixes. I don't want to pull out every single one. I didn't get the box sets. I wasn't going to pay that extra money for the box and the Beatles story, so I did just buy them separately. But I'm not going to pull out all of them just to show them here. You guys know what they look like. They sound great. They look great. I love the US albums. I prefer the US albums more than the British ones. All about controversy here today. And let's see, last but not least, what Beatles product would you like to see in 2025? I would like to see the Rubber Soul Super Deluxe box sets. And I'd also like to see the 2025 mono mix of the rest of the US albums. So I'd love to see that on US Rubber Soul, Revolver, Hey Jude, and let's go ahead and throw the Magical Mystery Tour in there. Why not? Why not do that? With the booklet and everything. But yeah, that's it. We're gonna cut it there. I'll try to make it short and sweet. Hope you guys like seeing that as much as I like showing this stuff off. So we'll see you in another year when another tag comes out.